Hello everyone, my name is the Chemist77 and welcome to episode 10 of Farming Minecraft. Now I'm very excited about today's episode because I am building one of my favourite types of farm, and you may guess by the fact we're in a swamp, it's going to be a slime farm. Now ever since 1.18 changed the world height, sort of meta for farming slime has sort of changed slightly. So whereas before, generally the best thing would be to mine out a slime chunk, now, because of all the deep slate layers and stuff, it's not worth the effort, and we can actually build a slime farm here in a swamp. The other thing that's changed in 1.18 that made this sort of a viable option is hostile mobs will now only spawn at like level 0 or below. Before it used to be 7 or below, and now mobs have to be in complete darkness for them to be able to spawn. However, for some reason, that doesn't apply to slimes. And so yeah, bit weird, but we can use that to create just basically a dark spawning platform that's not completely dark, but still dark enough for slimes to spawn. We'll talk a bit more about the farm later when I build it, but first I have a little bit of clearing out to do, because you see the calcite little, I don't know, L shapes I've got going on around here. There's the other one just there. This is where the slime farm's going to be, so if I turn my schematic rendering on, we can see that. But we got a load of trees in the way, so before we can do any sort of building, I need to clear out all these trees. Okay, there we go. Everything has been cleared out. I've also cleared out all the dirt because all of this needs to be spawn proof. Because we don't want mobs spawning under the farm, because that will affect the rates in the farm. So yeah, so we're ready to start building now, and we're going to need a lot of materials. Oh, hello, Froggy. And one of the reasons I love this farm so much is it uses one of the weirdest features in Minecraft I think I can possibly think of, which is brown mushrooms emit a light level of 1. So if I take one out here, I use my light level overlay and I place it down. I can't place it down over there because the skylight. Let's see, will it go underneath here? Actually, there you go. You can see with this brown mushroom here, it's got a light level of 1. I don't know why brown mushrooms have a light level of 1, but they do, and apparently it is intended, I think. So yeah, and as you can see, we need a lot of them. That's over 36 stacks of brown mushrooms. Yeah, this is another pre-recorded episode. Probably wasn't a good one to pre-record because it took so long to gather the resources. All the mushrooms, deep slate, and tinted glass. I don't have any sort of formal amethyst farm type area. Fortunately, there is one like near my base in the ocean, so I basically just sat there for an hour or two waiting for the crystals to grow and then mine them. So yeah, but again, I'm gonna go into all below. There we go. And yeah, so we can see now what we got to do. This is all pink because this is water instead of air. But yeah, it's fine. Apparently this is right, yeah, I accidentally left the diamond blocks in when creating the schematic. Anyway, yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure this over here should be chests. Yeah, they should be chests and hoppers. But yeah, so I'm going to time lapse this. I can't remember if I mentioned at the start, but this is designed by Ilmango. This like isn't exactly one that was in the video, but this is one that I sort of put together for the size for my single player world. And yeah, so there'll be a link to his video on slime farming in the description, which he explains a bit more detail and probably explains a bit better than me about sort of why this form of slime farm is now really, really good. And he also has a block by block tutorial for building one. I'm not going to do this sort of like that. I'm just going to time lapse this. So yeah, let's go. And with that, those last torches, just done a quick verification on the schematic. We are all done. You can see where I left the diamond blocks in over there by accident. All that's left to do is pop an AFK point up. And we should then be able to see some slime spawning in there eventually. And with a few slabs to protect us from phantoms, we're done. We got our AFK spot here, and if I go into MiniHUD, I can show you why we are here. So what I can do is give ourselves a despawn sphere, which if I hit my hotkey will show up like this. So mobs will only be able to spawn within this radius of blocks. See outside here, which is a big sphere. And that means any spawnable blocks within this sphere, the game will try to spawn. Which is why we got rid of some of these trees here. Now, there are a few leaves poking in here and there on some of these trees. That doesn't matter because leaves aren't a spawnable block. And so what this means is the only spawnable blocks are the ones inside our farm here, which as you can see, we got lots of slimes spawning. If I turn my gamma on so you guys can see a bit better in the video, you can see that the slimes are attracted to the golem, which then kills them. They die on the magma blocks, and then our minecarts appear to not be moving. Hang on a second. Okay, I think with the minecarts fixed now, I'm hoping, we can now definitely see, turn the gamma back on, the slime's working. So the minecarts, or hopper minecarts technically, will go around underneath here where the slimes die due to either golem or magma block. Pick up the slime balls, and then we've got a minecart unloader here, linked up with a smart dropper. And so the minecart will stop over here, all the slime balls that are inside it will get run into that dropper, which, there you go, you can see smart dropper then just spits them all out, and they end up in the water stream here in these hoppers, which go into the chests here. And as you can see, because we have the brown mushrooms, which are like level 1, only slimes are spawning. So there's no skeletons, no zombies, no creepers, witches, anything like that, because they all need to be like level 0. And for some reason, slimes are the only thing that is still 7 or below. Now, you could use things like redstone torches, which emit like level 7 or glow lichen, and only have them like periodically. But in a similar way to what we discussed last episode, with the higher up you go, the less or the more likely spawn is to fail. The higher the light level, the more likely spawn is to fail. I don't exactly know if there's any sort of equation to work the probabilities of that out. But yeah, that's how it works, which is why brown mushrooms are really optimal, because they only give a light level of 1. And wow, there's a lot of slimes over by this one. As you can see as well, because of the fences and the height of the ceiling, our iron golems don't get hurt at all by the slimes, which is very useful. Let's just check down here that all our minecart... Oh, that one's stopped. Okay, I think what's happened here is as the minecart goes over these tracks here, the hitbox interacts slightly with the hopper, which, because of how the unloader works, it turns off these powered rails. So I think what we're going to have to do is just add some normal rails along this back straight here. Okay, there we go. And with a little bit of adjustment to our rails down here, the hopper minecarts are working, and we can see slimes are spawning. Now, the other thing to note with this farm is that it is still dependent on the phase of the moon. So the more full the moon is, the better slime spawns you get. So even though, well, I was about to say even though it's daytime, it's actually about to be nighttime here. But even during the day, the moon still has a phase. So just be in mind, like, so if you're on a multiplayer server, maybe ask them not to skip like the nights of a full moon, and ask them to do skip the nights of a new moon. Yeah, so it does mean that in sort of short periods of time, the rates of this farm are rather variable. Here you can see we're on quarter moon. I think that's last quarter moon. And yeah, so it is moon phase dependent. Just as well, these bottom half slabs here, just make sure you're aware these are bottom half slabs at the same level as these full blocks. These are to help with pack spawning. Now, I briefly mentioned it last episode about pack spawning, where the game will pick a block, choose a mob to spawn, and then it'll go out a few blocks in either direction and spawn up to a certain number of other mobs. Now, even if the initial spot picked is non-spawnable, like a bottom half slabs, any mobs or any of the pack spawned mobs, if they're on spawnable blocks and can spawn, the game will spawn them. So even here, if the game decides to spawn a mob on this level of slabs, even though the slime cannot spawn here, if it pack spawns inside the farm, they will still spawn. And so that will just improve the rates slightly. And I think that's it about the farm. Oh, yeah, actually, 2 more things. These blocks here, these must be stairs. Well, these 2 blocks, so these stairs and tinted glass, they need to be transparent, because otherwise they will actually block the pack spawning. So these stairs could be glass as well. This tinted glass could be stairs. Sorry, this should be tinted glass, not glass. If you're going to use glass, it does need to be tinted glass, because it stops the light from getting in, which will, again, affect the spawn rates. The other thing to note is that slimes will spawn in a swamp between layers 51 and 69. So if you wanted to, you could put another 2 spawning layers below this, I think. So these blocks here, these are at 68. So these mushrooms are at 69, which is where the slimes will spawn. Now, this sort of goes against what I was saying last episode about, okay, we want to make the farm as low as possible. But the reason I've done it here is primarily for convenience. So obviously having it higher up means I can fit all of this redstone and item collection underneath it. It also means that I don't have to AFK lower, which if I again bring up the shape, you can see this goes underground. Now it's not necessarily so much a problem because a lot of these underground caves are underwater. We can see, you know, even a little cave like that, which isn't underwater, which you can tell by the grass. If this despawn sphere was low enough, then it could actually get in the way of these caves here. And you'd end up with mobs spawning there. So you didn't have to go around and spawn proof all the caves. So that's why I've done it at this level. And to be honest, the rates are, you know, really respectable. If we go down, turn my gamma off, and just actually before we go down, let's sleep up here where it's safe. There we go. So let's see. So it's been running a little while. Just whilst I fixed the minecarts and I was talking up there at the AFK spot, and as you can see, we've got, what's that, just under 54 stacks of slime balls. So that's enough to make a lot of sticky pistons and a lot of slime blocks. And we can see there's a few more slime balls just coming in here. And yep, no more stuck minecarts either, which is very nice. Now, one last thing I do want to do here is build a portal. And unfortunately, one slight downside that we've got is because I've built this sort of like 2x2 modules, it is an odd number of blocks. Not odd number, sorry, it is an even number of blocks. So rather than our usual 3x3 portal, we're going to do a 4x4 portal. So let's just build this up here like that. Oh, that's not right. That just goes there. And I can light it and go to the nether. And here we go, at the necessary coordinates in the nether, we can light that, and we should come out, hopefully, at the slime farm. Hey, and there we go. At the slime farm, we got plenty of slime, which is very exciting if I don't die. Anyway, I'll do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'm really pleased now we've got a slime farm because I can really start cracking on with some really cool farms, including my gravity block duper in the near future. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But anyway, yeah, if you like the video, do hit the thumbs up. If you want to be notified when I release some more videos, then do subscribe. I also live stream. Not sort of at the minute, so this is a pre-recorded episode I'm doing before Christmas. So over Christmas and New Year's, I'm home for Christmas, so I won't be live streaming. And my schedule might not be quite so regular sort of for January because I have exams coming up. That being said, I always post on my Instagram when I am live streaming. So if you want to be notified of that, then do drop a follow. And I'll often post some like time lapses and stuff on there, other fun builds. And yeah. So I think that's all the channel self-promotion gubbins out the way. But yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next episode. Bye.